Hey guys, today I'm going to do a pro and con review of the Sony RX100 Mark I. This is the very first generation of the Sony RX100 1-inch sensor that was released in 2012. I had this camera for a couple of years now, so I'm going to do my review on my experience so far with the camera. So the first pro that I have with this camera is the low light performance. As you can see, I post some samples right now on the screen. The image quality at night is excellent. There's no blurry pictures. All of them are really sharp. I went to an aquarium a few years ago and I took some really nice pictures, which I still enjoy today. The sharpness is really nice all over the zoom range, on all the corners, so that's great. The second pro that I have with the camera is the battery life. Like this Mark I has is rated for 330 shots, but I can get this for, I can take much more shots with this camera. Now I'm really impressed by the rest time. Like when I'm not using the camera, the battery does not drain at all, so it's really nice. I really enjoy the USB charging on the side here, so you can just charge the camera with the micro USB right here, and you don't have to take the battery out, which is really a plus with the camera. USB charging is really nice. You don't need to bring any charger with you when you're out and about. When you're traveling, you just bring a micro USB charger that you can use to charge your phone, and you can charge your camera at the same time. So no need to bring a bulky battery charger when you're out and about, and when you're hiking. And also you can charge it with a power bank, which is great. You can use a power bank to charge your phone and your camera. So the next pro that I have with this camera are the color effects. There's one which is the watercolor effect, which turns your photo into a painting, and I really like that feature. I use it a lot, and they're really cool, very nice. I know you can do it in Photoshop, but I like the fact that it's built in. Another pro is the video quality. It has really nice video quality. The bokeh is really nice. Yeah, so bokeh is really nice, and I can talk about the bokeh a little bit. So the macro shots are not that great because you can't get really close to your subject. The minimum focusing distance is 5 centimeters, so you can't get really nice close-up shots. But still, when you're pointing your camera and shooting at very close objects, you get a really nice background with the 1.1-inch sensor and 1.8 lens aperture. When I try to take photos of people, that's when you can the bokeh becomes really minimal, and you have to come really close to the person in order to take the nice blurry backgrounds. So you can't get really nice bokeh with that camera, but you can do it with the Canon G7X. So you can do it with the newer generations of this camera. The newer generations goes up to goes down to f2.8, whereas this one you have to go from 1.8 to 4.9. And usually when you're doing portrait shots, you're zooming all the way to the end, and then you take a photo. So the portraits is not that blurry, so you won't get that nice portraits, but it's still sharp. So let's talk about the metal construction. I really like it. It's very smooth. It feels very Apple-like. The body is made of aluminum, It's very light, very durable. It's really nice to the touch. It feels I constantly want to touch it. It's made like it's very similar to a MacBook. Yeah, so one thing, let's talk about another pro is the LCD monitor. The LCD monitor is really nice. It has this white pixels that you see the photos really turn out to be really nice on the screen. So that's a pro. That's a good pro. I really like that. One more thing is the pop-up flash. You can tilt the pop-up flash when you're shooting your photos, so that's awesome. The slight inconvenience is, well, you can't. There's no button to pop the the pop-up, so you have to go in the menu, and then you have to like press here and then go all the way down and then fill flash, and that's when you can use the pop-up flash, which is an inconvenience. And every time you press the shutter button, the pop-up comes out, and you have to go in the menu again to turn the pop-up out. Anyway, so let's go through the rest of the cons. There's a few left. The bulk mode is really good. I used it to take some long exposure photos. I'm gonna tell you how to press the button using a bulk mode. There's one trick that I used to constantly press the button. I used one of those smartphone tripods. You know, one of those smartphone tripods has like a clamp that can press the button constantly. I think I've lost mine, so I have to get a new one. These are cheap. These are like less than $10, and you can just use the clamp to clamp the smartphone. You can use that to press on the button and do long exposures. That's what I did for my last photo of long exposure. So yeah, so let's go through the cons now. There's one more pro. This is quite pocketable, so you can put that in your jeans pocket easily, but you feel a little budge around the lens, but still it is still pocketable. You can put in your winter coat jacket. It's fine. It's not going to be too bulky, and it's light. It's one of the lightest one of the lightest 1-inch sensors. There's also the Canon G9X, but that one is not too sure if it's that good. But this one, it's cheaper than the Canon G9X. The Canon G9X in Canada costs like $600 or $700. This one I got it used for $400 around that. So this is much better. Yeah, so let's go to the cons. One major con that I found with this camera is how slow it is to start up and turn off. So say you have this take some photos, and when you press the turn off button, you see how long it takes to turn off. So it takes like 3 or 4 seconds to turn off for the lens to retract completely, and that's a turn off for me. That's a major turn off, because I usually use my point and shoot to take quick pictures, take it out of my pocket, take a photo, and then put it back in. And the amount of time you have to wait for it to turn off is really annoying. It doesn't happen with my Canon cameras. The camera are automatic, so yeah. So that's a major con for me. The second major con is the movie button. As you can see, the button is very tiny. It's hard to press. And when I'm like vlogging or whatever, I don't know if I've pressed a button. There's no feedback at all. It's so tiny. It's just hard to press the button, and you can't find it when you're vlogging. So you don't know if you're recording yourself. It happened to me a few times when I'm trying to vlog and I'm not sure if I'm recording myself. I pressed the button, but it was the wrong button. so it's not really, it's not good. So the third the third con is no touchscreen. So the Sony cameras have no touchscreen until like the very last one, which is a Sony rx100 Mark 6, I think. That one has a touchscreen, but all the other Sony cameras don't have touchscreens, which I find that touchscreens are much better, because you can use it to view photos. You don't need to press buttons. You can just swipe it, zoom in, or change the focus point, all this kinds of stuff. So it's really good. The other, let's move on to not cons but slight annoyances. So there's a lot. There's a huge list of annoyances. I wish it was much better. So when I got the camera, I didn't have the grip, so it's very slippery when you're shooting around with the camera. So I bought a grip. That's one annoyance. The second annoyance is the ND filter. The ND filter, there's no ND filter on this camera, so on very bright days, all my photos are shot. Like, it's really bad. So as you can see, the photos turn out to be really bad. If it's sunny out there, don't use the camera, because you won't, even if I put it all the way to f the maximum f, I don't know, f10, I'm not sure. Another major con is the complicated menu system. The menu system is like one of the worst I have ever used. So as you can see, these are like browser tabs, but inside each tab there's another tab. What the hell is going on? Yeah, so absolutely atrocious menu system. Yeah, so let's move on to the next one. There's one annoying thing with the camera is like when you're viewing an image, and if you want to view the video, you have to switch between each of them. So that's a problem. Let's show you how this works. So oh, I don't have an SD card, but anyways, when you take a photo with the camera and when you take another video, when you press the playback menu, it will only play the latest file format. You will play the videos only, and you can't switch back into a photo, so which is really big annoyance. Yeah, I don't understand. This is the only camera that does that. The Canon doesn't have a problem. You can just press playback. You can view all your last photos and videos sequentially, but for this one you can only view videos or photos, and you have to switch back constantly. So like you have to like go on this menu. Yeah, so you have to only go on you have to go to this still movie select option. I don't know. Yeah, I have to. You see, it's so hard. I can't select anything because of the menu system is so bad. Anyways, yeah, so another nitpick is the HDMI. I never used the HDMI before, so the micro HDMI port is at the very bottom of the camera, which is okay. I mean, it's not a big deal. I never used that, but it's slightly annoying. Oh, another big con is the battery compartment. So whenever you have this on a camera, on a tripod, sorry, you can't take the SD card or the battery out. So having one major con with the camera. So you have to constantly take the camera off, take off the tripod thing, and then take out the SD card. And I always leave my cameras on a tripod and just take out the SD card when I'm done, put it in the computer and put it back. I don't want to take the camera off all the time, and it's a big nitpick. It's so really so annoying. So what else do I have? Yeah, another major con is the buffering. So let's say you're taking a lot of pictures with this camera at the same time, and whenever you're like taking a lot of pictures at once, it will start to buffer, and that buffering takes from 5 to 10 seconds or maybe more, and that's really annoying. It really annoys me. And another con is when you are shooting RAW with this camera, RAW and JPEG. Every time you shoot one picture, it will take 5 seconds to process the RAW and JPEG picture. So I always shoot on JPEG on this camera. So yeah, so I never shoot RAW because it takes a long